Okay, hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Teacher Nurul, your English teacher for this year, and today is our first class. We are going to start with the first unit of our textbook, which is family ties. Okay. Um, okay. Okay, this is our textbook that we are going to use it today. And the first unit that I want you to focus here is on page 6 and 7. Okay. Our focus today is on reading. Okay, reading. The text is Meet the Ancestors. Okay. Okay, I have provided a video for you to watch, and by the end of the sessions, I hope you will familiar with this forward. Okay, these four words, which is genes, generations, ancestors, and genealogy. Okay, all right. Then you have to do two tasks today. The first one is I want you to attempt to exercise D on your textbook on page 7. Okay? For this exercise, you just need to write whether the answer is true or false. Okay, you don't have to copy all the questions. Just write the answer whether it is true or false. Okay? Okay, then the second task is you need to draw your own family tree. Okay? Family tree. Okay, this is example of my family tree, which starts with my father Daud and my mother Hawa. Okay, then we have 4 siblings, which is Rosita, me, myself, Nurul, my sister Aini, as well as Ummi. Okay, Ummi. All right. Then Rosita married to Saad, and they got 3 children, which is Jaja, Shanin, and Ahmad. Okay, so do I. I'm married to Yasin, and I have 3 children, which is Umar, Hana, and Yusuf. Okay, the other 2 of my siblings, which is Ummi and Aini, didn't marry yet. Okay, so they have no children. Okay, all right. I want you to make your own family tree. Just make it simple, consisting of your mother, your father, as well as your siblings. Okay, that's all. Okay, so we start our lessons today. Our lesson today with this video. Okay, let's watching.
Now for the first lesson, we are going to do reading. The title for the text is Meet the Ancestors. Okay, first of all, you have to look at the word focus. We have 4 words in the word focus. First is gene. Gene is part of a cell passed from parents to children that determines how they look. Generation, the people of about the same age in a particular family. Then ancestor. Ancestor is a person related to you who lived a long time ago. Then we have genealogy, the study of family history. Now let's look at the passage or the text. Meet the ancestors. Paragraph 1. When you look in the mirror, do you see your father's smile? Maybe you take after your mother or look like a grandparent. That's because of DNA. Our DNA contains genes that make each person in the world different. No two people look, think, or act the same. We pass down our genes through generations. Scientists can test your DNA to find out which part of the world your ancestors were from. Paragraph 2. Your family's history may be a mystery to you, but there's a way to find out about it. It's called genealogy, and it's the study of the people you are related to. Genealogy helps you put together your family history. It starts with the relatives you know, such as parents and grandparents, and then you can learn about ancestors who lived and died before you were born. Paragraph 3. It isn't difficult to learn about your past. You can begin by asking your relatives questions about your ancestors. While you are talking with family members, take notes. This helps you organize any information you get. Make sure you write down any names, dates, or places people mention. Then, you can draw a family tree with your name at the top. Then, you would add all the relatives from you to your great-grandparents so you can see how everyone is related. Paragraph 4. If there are any blank boxes in your tree, it's time for detective work. Many people begin at a library where they can look for family names in old newspapers. Public records are usually a very good thing to look at too. They have information about birth, marriages, and death certificates too. Some records show when people moved to a country. Sometimes records tell you where people went to school and what their job was. You can also search the internet. With every bit of research you do, you are discovering your family's history. Next, you have the exam task. So this is part of the exam task which is in your textbook. So now let's look at task 1. Look at the sentences below about studying your family history. Read the text to decide if each sentence is correct or incorrect. Write true or false. So there are 10 statements here. Then you can ask your pupils to write the answer in the exercise book or in the Google form. So there is a link for the Google form. You can create a Google form and put the link here. So let's look at the questions. Number 1, we look the way we do because of the genes in our DNA. So is it true or false? Number 2, a DNA test can show where in the world our ancestors lived. Number 3, you can find out the number of relatives you have in a DNA test. Number 4, genealogy is the history of our past and present family members. Number 5, relatives who are alive could have information about ancestors. Number 6, a family tree shows how you are related to other people in your family. Number 7, a detective can help you to find information about your family. Number 8, it is possible to buy old newspapers at some libraries. Number 9, public records tell you when people were born. Number 10, the text says that websites can help you find information about your ancestors. So there are 10 statements here. You have to decide whether they are true or false. Now we go to task 2. You can create your own family tree. For example, we have here Jim is the father and Jane is the mother. And Jim and Jane, they have 4 children who are Alfred, Bertha, Charles and Doris. And you can continue with Alfred having 3 children who are Joe, Heather and Barbara. And Bertha has a child, Howard. Charles is childless, so he has no children. And then we have Doris with 2 kids who are Nick and Liz. So you can create a family tree by writing your father's name to replace Jim and also your mother's name to replace Jane. And then you can continue with the number of your siblings. Okay, so try out this task.